So the first thing that you need to know if you're going to negotiate is that you have to be able to say no. And what no means is that you're not going to do it. So if you go into a negotiation and you're uncertain already because you have self-doubts, and then you're agreeable in the negotiation, what's going to happen is that you're not going to win as often.
So when you're negotiating with a hostage, in a hostage situation, what have you found has had the most effective consequence?
So if you, and your tone of voice will immediately begin to impact somebody's mood, and then immediately how their brain functions. So there's actually scientific data out there now that shows us that our brains will work up to 31% more effectively if we're in a good mood. So if I smile at you, and you see it, or you can hear a smile in someone's voice, if I automatically smile at you and you can hear that I like you, I will actually be able to reach into your brain, flip the positive switch, put you in a better mood. There are mirror neurons in our brain that we have no control over. They automatically respond. And if I intentionally put you in a good mood, your brain will be working more effectively, and that already begins to increase the chances that you're going to collaborate with me. I remember one time I was on the phone with a customer service airlines person. And that's got to be a tough job because those people get yelled at all day long, every day. Nobody calls customer service unless they're unhappy. And this woman was one of those women that clearly she'd been yelled at 50 times during the day. And she was not interested in staying on the phone with me a moment longer than she had to. She came back on the phone and I said to her, you know what? I really appreciate how generous you've been with your time. And I could tell immediately her frame of mind changed. And when she came back on the phone, she'd given me a full refund on my ticket. Most people, if you're nice to them, can help you by doing a little bit if you give them a chance. And when somebody says, we just want what's fair, that's actually a really bad sign. One of two things is going on. Now, the cutthroat negotiators know how much I can punch your buttons if I say I've given you a fair offer. And that'll immediately put you on the defensive and make you worry about whether or not you're being fair. And most people have an instinctive feeling about fair price, fair market. Fair is just like this incredibly overused term in negotiations. I just want what's fair. What's the fair market price? So if I say I've given you a fair offer and I'm accusing you of being unfair, I've immediately knocked you back on your heels. It's a way for me to gain an advantage on you, if I'm that kind of a negotiator. The flip side of it is, maybe I've been assertive enough in the negotiations and I haven't been using enough tactical empathy that the other person feels like I'm taking from them. And they'll respond with, I just want what's fair. That may be someone genuinely telling me, very indirectly, that they feel I've been far too aggressive. And if they feel I've been aggressive, and if they feel treated unfairly, one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to walk away from a great deal, or they're going to make implementation painful. And when implementation of a negotiation is painful, when they drag their feet, when they don't make deadlines, when they don't deliver the product quality they're supposed to deliver, when they're not as thorough and paying as much attention to detail because they didn't feel it was a fair deal, they destroy your profit. So you have to really keep an eye out for the F-bomb in negotiations.
You know, and that other point you made about mirroring and summarizing.
The mirroring that I teach is not the same as the way most people think of mirroring. Most people, when they think of mirroring, they think mirroring body language, mirroring tone of voice, even using the same words. It's not that at all. The mirroring that I teach is much more simplistic and, interestingly enough, has a great impact on how the other person interacts with you. And it's just repeating the last 1 to 3 words that they've said, word for word, 1 to 3 words, or it's repeating a selected 1 to 3 words. And what it really does is it helps connect people's thoughts. There will almost never be a time when you've mirrored the last 3 words of what someone said, when they want to go on and explain and reword and expand. And that mirror, what it's just done is it helps give you a better understanding of what the other person is trying to say. It also gives you more time to think. It's a way to buy time in a negotiation for yourself. The other person doesn't see you buying time in any way, shape, or form. It's a great way, when you don't know what to say or where to go, to keep them talking in a way that they're very comfortable with.